I'm going to run through announcements, and if Mackenzie or Nat, if you guys have any, feel free to jump in if I forget. So obviously you guys know Bar Blend launched this week. If you have not tried it, OMG, I was very surprised how difficult it was. I know I just completed the work, and that's by far the hardest program I've ever done. But this is like a whole different kind of hard. So I'm really excited about it. Go get your packages now, get set up, do the 10 workouts, showcase it. This is your business, y'all. So you got to showcase the options that people have. They're $20 off this month if it's $140 or more. So great option to get people on completion pack and active again in your downline. So I'm really excited about it. I thought Maggie was going to say something because she was unmuted. Other announcements. What else am I missing?
Carl sent out those promo codes.
Thank you, Nat. So yeah, don't forget you guys have $10 off. If you have multiple CBCs, you have $10 off. So use them. They're friends and family, and all the ones that you use between now and the 13th or the 12th will get re-put on your account for when the customer launches Bar Blend. So like use them all so you get more of them the second half of the month. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Okay. Well, we'll get started. Recognition. Shout outs. I know there's got to be some.
I want to shout some people out. So Maria she just had a baby. She's halfway to Emerald. Paige is also halfway to Emerald, and she's like going to be there probably in like the next 24 hours. Taylor is, you guys, she is just, I'm going to get emotional. We got on the phone today with another new coach on her team. She has just been grinding, and she literally keeps me grinding. And like, I love that that's what's starting to happen on our team. And so I'm just so thankful and blessed to be on this journey with literally all of you, because Paige, Maria, Taylor, you all, like all of them, if they're not on here, you guys like get me excited when I see what you're doing. So thank you for working hard for your dreams, because it inspires me to work hard for mine. And that's all I got, I think, for now.
Congrats to Mac on locking in Success Club on day 4 of the month. Killing it, girl.
Awesome. I wanted to shout out, because I think she's going to watch the recording, Jess Gill. She grinded and hit Success Club the last day of the month last month. And I know Amanda was such a good positive light for her as well. And it's just proof, like just what Max said, just because you guys might see us as your upline coach, like we get inspired and fired up from you. And so the more we all show up together, like I love seeing all these faces on this call. This is what keeps us continuously reinventing ourselves and being excited about the business. So I'm really excited. I want to shout out Audrey, because she helped 2 people last month, and she was so pushing hard for Success Club. But I'm so pumped for you to just go into the new year really strong. I know 2020 is a big year for you, getting married soon. So I'm really, really proud of you. And a couple of my coaches are doing the 3-day refresh right now. So stay strong. I know it's not that hard. I know, Jess, I see you up there and you're still on the call. Keep it going, girlfriend.
I want to say one more thing too. I want to shout out Maggie and Natalie. First, Natalie, because you guys, she killed it at the end of last month, and she has worked so hard this year through so much adversity. And we were talking the other day, and she was like, I'm so proud of myself. And I was like, I'm so glad that you just said that, because you should be. And we need to have more moments where we're like, I'm proud of myself because I did it. And she did not, like let excuses get in the way. And I also want to shout out Maggie, because she had a baller month last month, and she just implemented this like really cool little thing with her team, because they're going for this big goal at the end of the year, and she saw a need and she implemented, and literally like she texted me, she's like, oh my God, it worked. Like we got like 5 elite points like in a day. And I'm like, yes. So I love all of you. Really, I could literally say something about every single person I think on this call. And Danielle, thank you for stepping in our for the call tonight too. But I'm just feeling extra grateful to be on here with you guys. Yeah, Maggie, you should share what you did because it was so genius.
So yeah, I can share more about it. It's still a little bit new, but I'm basically implementing a like bring a friend prize. So for new discount coaches that are signing up, one of the things I'm sending them in their welcome email is just this little graphic that I made that gives them the very basic steps that they need to sign someone up. How to use ShareCart, what our challenge packs look like. That's it. And if they sign someone up, they get a prize. And it's honestly, it's one of the biggest things I'm talking to people about when they do first sign up as a discount coach. It's just like, hey, bring a friend. It's going to help your accountability. It's going to be fun to have a buddy in the group. Like, just do that with me. And people are really wanting to do that. And I think that my goal with it, short-term goal was elite points. But what I'm seeing and what I'm learning is that like, this is so much planting the seed of like, whoa, I just helped that one person. I gave them the tools that I'm excited about trying out. And here we go. I got a paycheck. Like I'm helping this person come along with me. So what I'm really hoping like going into the new year is that, yeah, it's a referral program. And what I'm hoping that going into the new year is that some of these people see the potential behind it and want to bring one more friend or want to bring another friend. So kind of bringing them in slowly with no pressure versus like, here's all your coach tools, just kind of simplifying it. So I'm excited about it. We'll see. It's going well so far. People are excited so far. So thanks, Mac.
Yeah, Maggie, maybe you can like share that graphic or step by step. That I think that'd be really awesome.
Yeah, I can do that for sure. I'll share it in all the team pages.
Perfect. Any other recognition, even if they're not on the call, you want to shout them out? All right. All right, so I need 3 things from you guys before I get started. And yes, to Mackenzie's point, I was not planned to be on the team call tonight, but that's what we do. We help step in for each other. Alana was really sick last minute, so she will be scheduled probably for the new year. So you guys will hear from her then. But I figured I haven't spoken to you guys in a while, so why not get on? Number 1, do I have permission to maybe say some naughty words? In the sense of like I might cuss, okay? That's just when I get fired up, I'm just letting you know if you have kids around, you might want to put in some earplugs. Second thing is, do I have permission to get deep with y'all? Like, can we keep it real? Okay. And the third thing is stick with me to the end if you can, because I'm going to give you guys like actionable things at the end, but really I'm just going to speak my heart because I literally took 5 minutes and wrote down some thoughts about like what I wanted to speak about. And so what I first want to see, because I always love the chat box, and then I'm going to shut it off because it'll distract me. So I want to ask you guys to put in the chat box, when you think of me, your coach, this team, what are words you think of that come to mind? So like when you think of you're a part of your team, what are the words to use to describe that? Family. Love it. Community, friendship, empowering. I love how these are also different. Support, friendship, inspirational, honest. Awesome. So this kind of makes me a little bit nervous to like talk about this stuff. So a lot of the things I'm going to share with you tonight, even some of my team doesn't know these things and I haven't discussed them publicly. So I'm also going to ask for just like your understanding and honesty that like I'm going to get deep with you guys. So for me, it's really easy as a coach for in 5 years now, it'll be 5.5 coming up soon, to get complacent, right? If you've been around the block for a while, maybe you're even just 6 months in and you kind of like lose that luster a little bit of like the newness or feeling like, well, here's another launch. How do I go about it? Why am I still here? Why is this still important to me? What is going to keep me going when it gets hard? Because the newness wears off eventually. And I think sometimes, especially in this day and age when Instagram is so instant, right? We all see each other's stories and we're very plugged into what the rest of the world is doing in a second. it's so easy to think that nobody else has hard things. Just Mackenzie just crushes it. Like she can just get ST20, like she just puts some posts up and it's just awesome because her energy is just always positive and I just always want to be around her. And like, you know, you think of Maggie and she's a great mom and that's a great mom, and they just seem to always make these goals happen. But I think as a network in general, we don't talk about the hard of the business. And I say that because this year especially has been really hard for me. When Natalie spoke a couple weeks ago, that really was like, wow, like you think she has it all together because she's hit elite and she has this massive team. And I think it's important to talk about the hard, because if you want to be here long term and you want to build something meaningful, you got to know what it's going to take. And it's not always going to be perfect to hit Success Club and things are going to come easy to you. Nobody likes to say that, right? Because we don't like to be like, oh, new coach, get on a team call. It's going to be really hard, right? We want to set them up and say, this is going to be awesome. This is a community. This is friendship. This is supportive. And all those things are true. But I want to give you a little background of what this year and really these last couple months have been for me, because this has probably felt like the weirdest year in my business, in the sense of like not knowing who I am or like reinventing myself in a sense. So give you guys a background. I'm moving next week, so I'm living in boxes currently. I know Nat understands that. And this is the first Thanksgiving and Christmas in my entire life I will not spend with my family. And this is the first year that I live 20 minutes from them in 12 years. This is the first year in October that I missed first month in October, I missed Success Club after hitting it for 54 months straight. This was the first fall that I actually put a word to what I experienced as a child, which is emotional and mental abuse. And this is the first year I've been totally blindsided in a relationship that I thought was going to go really far. And so all of those things really kill your confidence. And the reason that I say that is because Audrey actually called me out a couple of weeks ago and she's like, you know, Danielle, I think these experiences really killed the confident, like amazing coach I saw you as, because it's been her year anniversary almost coming up on our team. And so last year was completely different. I was excited to move back to Pennsylvania and be close to my family, and everything that I thought that was going to happen in changing how, like everything I worked for in this business, to be close to my family, to take the trips I wanted to have, to build the team I wanted to have. It was like life just laughed and like blew up like an explosion. And you don't know these things because some of these things I don't talk about publicly, but this is a confident space. And it's easy to just sit back and let those hards just let go. Like, what's the point of me continuing to hit Success Club? What's the point of me continuing to have new coaches on our team when I myself feel like life is punching me every which way? And so I had to think about, why was this bigger than me? Why was the community? Why was the friendship? Why was the empowerment and the support so vital in my life? And I had to think about, what are the things that built me up for 4 years into the confident coach that Audrey saw me as a year ago. And she said, yes, start a team. And the way that it became bigger than me again, because it's taken me like 8 months to work through these things. It wasn't just like, oh, 1 month I decided like, this really sucks. This just isn't working. And so I'm just going to back off. I got back to connecting one-on-one with people. Like legit, you know, sometimes we get these big teams, or you hit diamond, or you hit these big milestones, and we forget that the business is about people and that one-on-one connection. Like, I can tell you, all of my coaches on this call right now, I have sat with them in the past 2 months for 30 minutes, for an hour, with no time limit, just being connected to who they were, what they wanted to do, and why they were here. Why? Because that made that bigger than me, so that all these things happening in my life didn't become the thing that continued to kill my confidence, but instead inspired me and empowered me to find a way that made it bigger than me again. Because if I just sat in the things that were me and compartmentalized that and let it be, what's the point of continuing to build my team, right? I just looked at myself. I don't have confidence. My family's over here doing who the heck knows what. They're crazy. We all have a crazy family. But like, I had to really deeply connect to my go-getters, to the girls that are on this call, and ask them, like, what do you want? Because what was happening in my life was like a shit show. So that was number one. Number two is you hear it all the time, but like personal development, those 4 years that I did it. And guys, I was the coach, like Rachel might not know this, but like when I first started out, Noelle and I started the same month. She read personal development from the very beginning, like your coach tells you you're supposed to do. I did not. And guess who hit Success Club the first 3 months? And guess who did not? I did not. Noelle did. And so then I was like, success leaves clues. If Noelle's hitting Success Club, I should probably start reading personal development. And so that 4 years of sitting and reading every morning for 10 minutes, choosing to do that no matter what, that allowed me to take these punches from life and make it bigger than me again through the process. But if I hadn't done that 4 years of work, if I hadn't been a coach and leaned into this business and allowed myself to just like grow something beautiful that was surrounded with people that wanted community, that wanted friendship, that wanted support, that would have never happened. I would have been way worse off this year without that. And I think that's something we really, really, really underestimate. I had to make something exciting and new for myself again. And like all these things, you guys are probably like, I've heard this before. But when's the last time you did a program that you saw and you maybe didn't want to do? Or when's the last time you did something that was way outside your comfort zone? I'll be honest, I said to you guys, when I saw Barbland come out, I was like, I don't think it'll be that hard. Like, I'm a go-getter. Love to lift weights, love to do cardio, love to get my ass kicked. And I went through the work as the mindset I needed to not focus on the scale. I didn't take measurements. I just took pictures every week because I just needed something for me to feel joy in my journey again. And I'm going to do the same thing with bar because it's way different than I thought, but it's connecting me back to the reason why we started this in the first place, which was to be a more confident version of ourselves, to build that confidence, that creation that Elise talks about a lot. That's exactly what I needed and I continue to need. Human events. Okay, so like, when you go to Super Weekend and every time you make a promise to yourself and you're like, I'm going to stand up next time and be this rank, or I'm going to stand up next time and I'm going to hit Success Club every month from now until then. And I've said it, like we all have. And then you get to the next one and you're like, but I didn't do it. I'm not that girl, like you get down on yourself and then you might have a team or somebody from your team there and they're standing up and getting recognized and you're like, well, shit, why did she get to do it and I couldn't? Why couldn't I make it happen? This Super Weekend, I looked around and I had 10 girls from my team there. And one of my goals when I moved back to Philly is I wanted to build really strong locally. Despite all the crap that's happened this year, there was 10 of my coaches standing there dancing their asses off to Lizzo like it was a party at 10 a.m. And that to me is worth every amount of failure or loss of rank or a loss of Success Club, streak of ridiculous amount that I was super pissed off about this year personally, because my community has grown. And they have become more confident in themselves. And what is that going to do? That's going to trickle out to people that you can't reach because you decided to never give up despite the hard. Because the hard's going to come, guys. Life is hard. Coaching is hard. It's the same way. It's the same thing. But we forget that this business is a personal growth journey. If you're not willing to grow, you should probably just leave the call now. because it's going to test you in ways that you didn't know. I didn't know how to market myself. I didn't know how to do social media. I don't have a business degree. I don't have a financial background. These are all things that are way outside my comfort zone that this business has forced me to do. But it also allows me to be a more confident person to even talk to you right now on a screen of being unprepared, asking to be talked to you guys about a topic I had no idea what I wouldn't even talk about, that I wasn't planning whatsoever. But I remember that those 4 years of work allowed me to move this mountain to get to the women that needed to be here tonight, right now. Do you see what I'm saying? So those human events, they really matter. And if there's nothing else I do in this business, there is not one single event I will ever miss for the rest of my life, unless I guess I'm giving birth or in the hospital or something like that, because obviously that's an excuse. But they matter, guys. Like, are you signed up for Super Weekend in January? Get yourself there. It matters that you're surrounded. I went by myself to Super Weekend for 3 years, so don't tell me you can't go by yourself and meet a new friend. That is what this community is about. We're about inspiration, support, friendship, community. That's what you cultivate when you show up for yourself in your business, even when nobody else is. Speaking to it. Now you might be thinking, oh my gosh, this is such heavy stuff that I've been through this year. How do you speak to it? That's one of the things I hear from my coaches a lot. Like, I had this really hard thing, but I just can't talk about it. Like, I'm just not allowed, right? Like, you can talk about things in a way that feels right to you. I don't personally talk about my family's issues. That's on them. But I can talk about the hard that I feel, the experiences that I have. And I really encourage you to lean into your coach, because we build off of stories. And if you don't share your story, if you just share the pretty stuff, nobody's going to buy it, because they don't care. If they look at you and say, wow, she just gets up at 5 a.m. every day and she grinds out her workout and she's just that perfect fit girl, they might sign up with you for a month, but I guarantee they're going to quit in a month. The girls on this call on my team are here because they're rooted deeper than that. They talk to me about dating. They talk to me about their own family issues. They talk to me about going on vacation, planning Disney. Like, you got to make it bigger, guys, and deeper and more rooted in who you are and why you're here and what you want to cultivate. It's so powerful. And so I really encourage you. It was way outside of my comfort zone this year to talk about dating. Many of y'all, we talked about on the cruise, and like, you know what I've been through, but I was just like, F it. Like, what, who cares what I say? Like, let's just get on and honestly talk about what everybody's talking behind the scenes about. You know, maybe you're dealing with mom guilt. Talk about it. Like, that is so real, and it invites other people to open up of their vulnerability and what they're going through. I know the moms on here are very good at that, because you guys invite other people to trust you and to rely on you and to look at you as a valuable resource that isn't just another quick fix. Like, y'all know January 1st, don't you hate when those people that have been following you, they've been watching your stories, you've invited them a million times, they've joined all your free groups, and then what do they send you January 1st when you invite them or follow up? Oh, I just signed up for the gym, so like, I'll maybe not this time, maybe in a couple months when my membership's up. And you're like, like, what more could I have done? What you can do is share your story and stop talking about just fitness and your meal plan, and nobody gives a shit about that. They care about the funny stuff you do in your life. They care about the hard stuff you're overcoming. Yes, you got to sprinkle in health and wellness, because that's what we do, but it kills me when there's so much potential in every single face on the screen, and we're not strong enough to share the stories that make us truly us, that are bigger than Beachbody, because y'all are not Beachbody. We are ourselves, and we represent a company that gives us the connection to have a platform to serve people. So if you're struggling to hit Success Club or rank up, you're probably just not authentically sharing yourself. And isn't that the coolest thing ever? Like, the easiest way to fix it is just be yourself. It's like, oh, that's it? Like, are you serious? Yeah, because the second I started talking about dating, guess what I got in my inbox? people who were talking behind the scenes that were on apps and struggling and all the things that I was going through that weren't answering my messages about invites. But we got to connect on a deeper level. And I don't care if they never sign up with me because they become my friend and they truly are a deep like connection that I can have for life. And I know one day they will, right? All right, the last thing I'm going to say is serving through it. The hardest thing in working through all of this stuff for me this year was, what can I learn from this? You know, whenever you go through a hard time in life, that is the hardest question to ask, right? Because if you're angry or sad or disappointed or frustrated or annoyed or sleep deprived or all the things, asking yourself sometimes, what can I learn from this, is just like, no, that is not the question I want to be asked right now. But I've asked myself this thousands of times this year. And there's lots of lessons I've learned, but I think the biggest one is I control where I go next. I'm the driver of my life and my business and my team. And if I want to change something in my downline, it's got to start with me, because they are never going to grow if I'm not growing. So I really invite you to serve through your hard in the sense of teaching lessons, talking about it more openly, even if it's just like setting up a coach call once a month with your coach and speaking through that, just like get off your chest. Because honestly, the greatest gift in the world has been building a team that I could honestly talk to about really all the hard stuff that I couldn't talk to my family about. A lot of my friends this year, they disappeared. But the people that were constant in my life was my team. And it's because I chose to unapologetically share the heck out of who I was and where I was going and why I was doing it. And so even though this year I didn't go to where I wanted to go, I didn't grow our team to where I wanted to go, I brought people into my life that I needed, just like they needed me. So guys, serve through your hard, because I promise you this community can just give back to you times 1,000 if you give to it times 1,000,000. And you never know when you need it in your life. So I'm going to wrap up the call. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, perfect, 8:30. I'm going to give you guys some things that like really helped me this year get back to my passion and finding myself as a leader again, because that's been something that I've really been working through. Highly recommend, if you haven't read the book, Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo, and she also has a podcast. It was so good, and it kind of got back to that question of like, what can I learn from this? That question I hated. It allowed me to remind myself that everything in life is figure outable, and the things you stress about today, like, think about it. Christmas is coming up. You're stressing about holiday gifts and what do you buy for that one relative? Is that going to matter in January? No, because they're going to open it. They're going to be like, it's great. And you'll move on with your life. So that was a great book. Cards, writing cards to your coaches. When's the last time, or your challengers, when's the last time you wrote a card out? I know you're like, we're so busy, but what if you just scheduled once a week to sit down for 10 minutes and write a card or two to your downline? That has brought such joy to my life, and it's how I built my business in the beginning, and just nobody else does that, right? Because we're all so busy, we're all on social media. Be the difference maker and do those little simple things. Free groups, I started doing them last month, and I know a lot of people think like, oh, this is so much work, and what if people don't say yes? What if you just got back to why you said you're going to coach in the first place, to give somebody else the opportunity to do what you've done? Not having anything expected back from them, but just giving your whole heart. And so every month from now on, I've been running free groups with Jess Gill. Actually, we started doing it last month. So I'm really, really excited to continue that. Mixing up your challenge group. If you're bored with it, pair up with somebody else. Because if you're bored, everybody in your downline's bored. And it's true. Like, you got to be excited. And if you're not excited about it, your team feels that. And I kind of touched on this, do a program outside your comfort zone and connect with somebody different than who you're talking to. I can't say this enough. Sometimes I think we get so in tune with like, this is my success partner, I'm there for life. But here's the deal. You don't know when somebody's going to quit tomorrow. I don't like to end on that kind of note, but it's true. You don't know what's going to happen in Mackenzie's life tomorrow, or Audrey's life tomorrow, or Laura's life tomorrow. And I really believe it's important to surround yourself with people that have way different lives than you and way different ideas than you, and push you and level up in different ways. Because I've had so many different success partners, but that has allowed me to bring out certain things in myself and my team at different times. So don't just rely on one person. I really believe that having a couple different people you can go to just to bounce ideas off, or like pull you out of your head, is so important. So that was kind of maybe a big ramble. Hopefully it was helpful. But I just thank you guys for letting me be honest and share my heart. And I just want you to know that every single coach you see, like, at the top or achieving big things, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. And hopefully this can just give you permission to be authentically yourself and just go do the damn thing, even through the hard, because everybody has it. They just decide to show up anyways and figure it out. And if I can do it, you can do it. So, all right, let me read your comments. Anybody else want to add anything? Awkward silence.
That was awesome, Danielle.
Thanks,
I
girl.
think that's just what the doctor ordered. So
Yeah. I really think, like, we're going into a new year, and this is the time where you kind of decide right now what you want for the next year. And I'll be honest, this year I always felt behind, like every launch, and we have so many things going on. But just pick one thing and make it your thing, and just live it out. Apologetic, like, I think back to Shift Shop was a turning point in my business, being in the test group. And it's because I talked about it every single day, not giving a shit if I was annoying, not caring what other people thought, just showing every piece of the journey of my life, showing how I was on construction sites and bringing my food with me, like, just being you. And if you guys, like, it doesn't have to be bar, it can be whatever launch you want it to be. And I think that's the biggest takeaway. Like, just make the business yours and go run with it, because when you do that, y'all, it's more fulfilling that way. Oh, thanks, guys. All right, well, I won't keep you on if you don't have anything else. I think we have a great speaker next week, Brad, right?
yeah, we have Brad Bizjack next week. He was a coach and he created his own like personal development mindset guru. I've heard him speak before, and I think he's going to speak a little bit about like mindset and kind of getting in control of those limiting beliefs and all of the doubt that likes to creep in when we do dream big and we set big goals and we try to show up when it's really hard. And then, you know, we all have that ceiling. So he's going to help us break through that next week and really just like get our minds where they need to be for 2020. So perfect.
Wait, can I tell you guys a funny story really quick? And it's kind of relevant.
It better be funny.
It is funny. So on the way back from the Success Club trip 2 years ago, Eric and I, my husband and I, got our plane tickets, and they gave us the window seat and the aisle seat. And we were like, what? Like, whatever. So we were like, instead of just like asking the person to switch, we were like, we're going to play a trick on this person. And we're going to like pretend like we're just meeting, and we like had this whole thing. Well, guess who sat in the middle of us? Brad. That's how I met him. And it was the funniest shit in the world. I had no idea he was even with Beachbody. We like did this entire thing where we started hitting on each other around him. And then I was like, oh my God, this is like a respectable coach in Beachbody. It was, anyway, that's how I know Brad. So he's also a great speaker, but he's also can take a joke. So that's nice. Anyway, thought I would share that.
Maggie, the real question is, why didn't you have somebody behind you film it? Because that would just be freaking hilarious.
That would have been funny. It was very entertaining though. But yes, thought I would share that. Love all of y'all.
Eric's funny, so I can't imagine what that was like. All right, yeah, we'll see you guys back here next week. Danielle, thank you so much. Let's all crush our goals.
Yeah, guys, go share your heart out.
Yeah. Bye.